Welcome to the Flir iXX series tutorial that covers the basics of operating your app-enabled thermal camera. Before we start, it is important to remember that knowing how to use this imager is just the first step. To get the most out of your infrared camera, thermographers must also understand how to interpret what they're seeing, and that includes how to accurately measure temperatures. Here are two examples that demonstrate why training is critical. The side of this house really isn't cold, and this electrical equipment isn't hot. It's only with certification training that you'll understand what's happening here and what you can do about it. So if you're ready to get certified, watch until the end of this presentation to learn more about the Infrared Training Center. Throughout the year, the Infrared Training Center offers hundreds of dates at a number of convenient locations, including online certification courses too. Head to infraredtraining.com to learn more. The iXX series thermal camera is designed for building energy audits, indoor commercial electrical surveys, and related mechanical applications including motor and pump inspections. The iXX thermal camera comes in two configurations, the i34 and i64. It is also the world's first app-enabled thermal camera, an entirely new class of thermal imager that combines the functionality of a smartphone with the features of a professional infrared imaging system. These apps represent the true functionality of this thermal imager and provide thermographers with a powerful decision-making tool that improves their efficiency and enhances their inspection capabilities in the field. The iXX series also integrates with Flir Ignite and Asset Link. These software solutions automatically sync your saved data, generate inspection reports, and incorporate data points from other testing technologies to help you with trending and improving your maintenance decisions. We'll introduce you to Ignite, Asset Link, and the other available apps a little bit later in this presentation. For now, let's review the basics of the Flir iXX series thermal camera. To turn the camera on, first insert a fresh battery into the battery compartment and hold down the power button until the Flir logo appears. The main menu should load in less than 30 seconds. The Flir iXX series thermal camera is touchscreen driven. You can use your finger to tap anywhere on the display and select from the various options. There are also buttons located here to the right of the main display, which can be used as an alternative and may be necessary if you're wearing gloves. One of these is the menu button. Pressing this returns you to the main user interface seen here. To the right of the menu button is the back button. This backs you out of any submenus such as the settings, the library, and more. The navigation pad and the center push button can be used to move around the menu system and select any of the options. Press up and down or left and right to move around the menu, and press the center push button to select whatever you have highlighted. We'll cover more of the menu options a little bit later in this presentation. On the front of the thermal camera is the infrared lens. Avoid touching the lens as it is covered with a special coating that plays an important role in the camera's ability to measure temperatures. If this coating gets damaged or worn off, it will affect the accuracy of your temperature measurements. Procedures on how to properly clean a lens can be found in your user manual. Below the infrared camera lens is the visual camera lens. This is used to capture visible light control photos that thermographers typically include in their reports. The LED camera lamp is used to illuminate targets to capture better visible light photos when saving data in low light conditions. A laser is available to help guide the operator visually and show where the camera is pointing. This can be activated from the main camera display, which we'll show you a bit later in this presentation. The trigger is used to capture an infrared image or start and stop video recording with the thermal camera. Finally, the USB port located on the bottom of the camera can be used to charge the battery while it is in the camera or transfer data to and from the device when Wi-Fi is not available. Many of the Flir iXX series functions are tied to its networking capabilities, which are available via Wi-Fi. This includes access to Flir Ignite, asset link, and the various apps that are integrated with the device. To connect your thermal camera to Wi-Fi, go to the main menu, select Settings, and tap Wi-Fi under Connectivity. Select Wi-Fi and turn it on. Here you can also enable Wi-Fi to turn on automatically if desired. Select an appropriate network and enter your password to connect. Once connected, navigate back to the main settings menu by pressing the back button. The date and time values are tied to each file when you save a thermal image or video and cannot be changed afterwards. It is always important to check these settings before starting an inspection. Scroll or navigate back to the settings menu where you'll see an option for date and time. Select this to open the date and time submenu where you'll see options to set the time format, the date, the time, and your time zone. As for setting the date and time, if you're connected to a Wi-Fi network, this should update automatically. To make manual adjustments, tap the date field and use the touch screen to change the value by swiping up and down. Press Continue to lock in these settings. This will return you to the date and time submenu where you can repeat this process to set the correct time. While you are here, make sure to select the correct time zone and press the back arrow on the display or use the back button to return to the main settings menu. Finally, it is here in the settings that you can also change the temperature and distance measurement units in the thermal camera. Find the option for temperature units where you can change these values. For distance units, you have the options for both meters and feet. When finished, press the menu button to return to the main menu on the thermal camera. The range covers an interval of temperatures the detector can accurately measure without going into saturation. You work within a range and, when saving an image, all of the temperature data in that particular range is captured. The iXX series thermal imager offers 2 temperature ranges, allowing operators to measure temperatures up to 550 degrees Celsius. To set the range, navigate to the Settings menu and select Temperature Range. 2 options are displayed. Range 1 covers temperatures from -20 to 200 degrees Celsius, while Range 2 works from 10 to 550 degrees Celsius. Select your desired range, with Range 1 typically being the most appropriate to use for any targets that are below 200 degrees Celsius. Remember, range is not something you can change after saving an image, so be sure to have the correct value selected before capturing any data. Select Camera in the main menu to start using your thermal imager. This displays a live infrared image. Here you will find the following icons and other graphics displayed on the screen. When a temperature measurement tool is selected, the value for that is displayed here in the upper left corner. Next to the temperature, operators will see various status icons and other indicators. These can include the battery charge level, available storage space on the memory card, a status icon showing if GPS is enabled, and a cloud icon that displays when you are connected to a Wi-Fi network and paired with iXX or Asset Link. On the right side of the screen is the temperature scale. This displays the color gradient for the selected palette, as well as the upper and lower span settings. We'll demonstrate how to change color palettes and adjust the temperature values a little bit later in this presentation. The full screen toggle button allows you to switch between the full size display or open another menu that contains several additional items. Hide overlay toggles all of the on-screen graphics on or off. Manual enables manual adjustment mode for changing level and span. We'll demonstrate that here in a moment. Plus, there are options to turn the camera lamp and laser on or off. Finally, tapping these 3 dots opens the camera toolbar, revealing a number of options that we'll cover later in the next section. For now, let's change the display to full screen and move on to discussing the camera toolbar. The camera toolbar provides access to the controls that operate the thermal imager. These include setting the recording mode, adjusting the temperature scale, changing color palettes, selecting measurement tools, and more. Recording mode sets what type of thermal data will be captured when you pull the trigger. Still image saves individual thermal images. Video captures a thermal video of a scene in MP4 format. We will discuss saving and recalling thermal data a bit later in this presentation. To close the recording mode submenu, tap anywhere on the touchscreen display. Image adjustment, also called thermal tuning, is the process of changing the temperature scale in the camera. This is known as adjusting span and level. Modifying the scale changes the contrast and brightness of the thermal image, helping operators better identify thermal anomalies on a target. Tap the image adjustment icon to view both options. The camera is set to automatic mode by default. This automatically adjusts the temperature scale based on the hottest and coldest objects in the field of view. There may be times, however, when manual adjustment is required. This is often true when there are very hot or cold targets in the frame. Select manual mode to make these changes. Tapping the lock icon opens and closes a virtual slider which is used to make these adjustments. With the slider open, operators can then select and highlight which number they want to change. A white outline around the value shows which number has been selected. When both numbers are highlighted, dragging the slider up and down moves the values at the same time. This is called adjusting level and keeps the difference between the two numbers fixed. It is similar to adjusting the brightness of the thermal image. Tapping one of the temperature values locks the other number and allows you to change the size of the temperature scale. This is called adjusting span. Now, with the top temperature highlighted, swiping up and down on the virtual slider changes the upper scale value while leaving the bottom number locked in place. Notice how the contrast changes on the coffee mug. Manual mode also provides access to one-touch level and span. When the virtual slider is open and unlocked, tapping any area on the touchscreen will readjust the scale based on the temperature values detected at that point. Finally, auto and manual adjustment can also be accessed from the shortcut menu available via the full screen toggle function at the bottom of the display. When using measurement tools, you will also need to adjust the measurement parameters. Navigate to the camera toolbar and select Parameters. Here you'll find the options to change emissivity, reflected temperature, relative humidity, air temperature, and atmospheric distance. All 5 have an impact on measurement accuracy, with emissivity and reflected temperature being the most important. And if you're inspecting a target through an infrared window, adjusting the optics transmission setting, along with the window temperature, is essential to ensure you're getting an accurate temperature measurement through these devices. Let's demonstrate how to change emissivity. Select this option and adjust the value by swiping up or down on the touchscreen. You can also use the navigation pad. Once the number is set, tap the display above or press the back button to return to a live thermal image. Whether you're looking directly at the target or through an infrared window, knowing the correct settings to use for measurement parameters requires a Level 1 IR certification training at a minimum. For now, please make sure you are familiar with how to change these in the camera, and remember that these values can also be adjusted in your reporting software. The Flir iXX thermal camera comes with 4 different imaging modes that allow you to customize how targets are displayed on the screen. This includes Thermal MSX, which adds visible light details to the infrared image. MSX stands for Multispectral Dynamic Imaging and improves contrast by superimposing visible light details not normally seen by the thermal imager. This can include equipment labels or breaker numbers, as well as edges or patterns on objects. On the camera toolbar, you will find the following options: Thermal MSX, Full Thermal, Picture-in-Picture, and Digital Camera Only. While a number of thermographers typically use Full Thermal mode, many others enjoy working with MSX as it provides both thermal and visible light data that enhances important details to help you identify your target. When MSX is enabled, a distance value is displayed at the top of the screen. Tapping this reveals a slider that operators can use to adjust the alignment distance. Changing this alignment distance corrects for the parallax or offset that occurs when you have 2 different lenses situated on 2 different focal planes. Adjusting this ensures the visible light overlay matches the thermal image seen on the display. Measurement allows you to add temperature data to your thermal image. The Flir iXX series thermal camera offers a number of measurement tools that can be applied in the camera. These are located in the main toolbar under Measurement. The Center Spot tool provides a single point temperature measurement. The Hotspot turns on an area box and displays a maximum temperature inside the defined space. The Cold Spot does the same, but with the minimum temperature value instead. The Delta setting allows operators to set up a temperature difference measurement between a spot value and a hotspot area box. There is also an option for operators to set a custom value and calculate that difference between the reference temperature and either a spot or a hotspot area box measurement. Finally, a no measurement option is available, which shuts off all measurement tools and just displays a qualitative thermal image that does not contain any temperature data. The position of these tools, as well as the size of the area boxes, can be adjusted on the touchscreen. Tap the center spot to highlight it and then drag it around the display. With the area boxes, tapping any of the corners will highlight the box and allow you to drag it and change its size. You can also reposition an area box by pressing and holding the center of the tool to drag it around the screen. To remove a tool, press the 3 dots when the tool is highlighted and select the delete icon to remove it from the display. While the iXX series provides access to measurement tools, remember that all of these and more can be found in your reporting software such as Thermal Studio or online with Flir Ignite. The Flir iXX series comes with a number of different color palettes that allow you to add varying levels of contrast to the thermal image. Open the main toolbar and select the color palette icon. Operators can then swipe through and select from a variety of different color palettes. These include Iron, Rainbow, Rainbow High Contrast, White Hot, Black Hot, Lava, and Arctic. 2 isotherms or color alarms are also available on the iXX series. The above alarm highlights regions of apparent temperature that are warmer than a defined value, and the below alarm provides this for areas of the image that are colder than a certain temperature. Let's demonstrate the above alarm using our Flir coffee mug. Select Above Alarm and set the temperature limit to 40 degrees Celsius. Press the back button or tap on the screen above the color alarm field to close the temperature limit option. With this enabled, any surface with an apparent temperature that's above 40 degrees Celsius will now be highlighted in red. To shut off the color alarm, navigate back into the color palette menu and select a standard color palette to continue this tutorial. Focus is another adjustment that must be set correctly before saving data. You cannot change the focus once you've captured a thermal image. The Flir iXX series thermal camera, however, makes focusing easy, in that these are fixed focus systems. No focus adjustment is necessary with this particular infrared camera. Your images and video will always be in focus, so just make sure your target is properly framed before saving. The non-uniformity correction is a function that resets the detector array and removes thermal artifacts displayed on the image. These anomalies are created when heat generated inside the camera, or energy that's absorbed from the surrounding environment, affects the stability of the detector array. These anomalies can appear to be warmer or cooler than the actual target and are most noticeable when you move the thermal imager. The non-uniformity correction provides a cleaner image by resetting the detector and removing these artifacts. The clicking that you hear is a shutter that drops down in front of the detector inside the camera. Its purpose is to provide a uniform target for the detectors to reset against. The result is a better image that's more thermally stable and consistent throughout your inspection. You can force a non-uniformity correction by holding down the Auto Manual button in the display submenu. The image will pause for a moment while the shutter engages and the word calibrating appears at the top of the screen. The Flir iXX series saves both thermal images or video, both of which can be captured in either portrait or landscape perspective. Rotating the camera will automatically make this adjustment to the display. First, operators should set the desired recording mode. Navigate to the camera toolbar and select either still image or video. To save a still thermal image, point the camera at your target, frame it properly, and pull the trigger. This will capture both a thermal image and a visible light control photo. For video, change the recording mode and repeat this process, pulling the trigger to start the recording. Pull the trigger once more to stop, and the video file will be saved to your device. To view your saved data, press the Menu button to navigate to the main menu and select the Library app. All images and video are stored here in folders that can be customized to keep your data organized. Data that has been recently saved will also be displayed as thumbnails. To add a folder, press the three dots in the upper right corner of the screen and select Add Folder. Name the folder and press the green check mark to save. This new folder automatically becomes the active folder and will be the default location where all images and video are stored. If you want to change the active folder and save data to a different location, go back to the Library menu, touch Select, check the folder you would like to activate, and press the folder icon at the top of the display. This will move that folder to the top of the list and become the new default location for saving data. Tap any of the folders to open the directory. Here you will find your images and video organized by date and file name. Operators can scroll down through the saved data and tap a thumbnail to open the file. Zoom allows you to digitally zoom in on the saved image using the plus or minus option. The toggle full screen icon will return you to the default zoom setting. Images and video captured in landscape perspective can be adjusted here by rotating the image. And DC allows you to toggle between the thermal and visible light photos of the saved image. Select the Edit icon to access the image editor. Here you will find most of the functionality that is available in the live camera mode. Operators can use this to make changes to the span and level, add measurement tools, change the color palette, adjust measurement parameters, and more. Press the back button to exit the image editor. If any changes were made, operators will be prompted to either save or discard these. To return to the folder, press the back button again, and then once more to return to the main app menu. The iXX series thermal camera provides access to apps from both Flir and other third-party providers that operators can use to enhance their inspection, analysis, and reporting capabilities. Pre-installed on the iXX thermal camera is Flir Ignite and Asset Link. These are two apps that support everything from basic image analysis and report writing to more advanced data analysis and asset management capabilities. Flir Ignite and Ignite Pro are for inspection programs with basic image analysis and reporting needs. This web-based software solution provides the ability to edit images and generate reports while also backing up your thermal data to the cloud. Asset Link is for maintenance programs that require more robust reporting and data management features. It can be deployed across multiple sites, set up as a private cloud, or configured as an on-premise installation. This solution connects your thermography data to an asset ID. It makes it easier to trend conditions over time while providing a dashboard summary that is used to communicate with other data management products. This includes a computer maintenance management system or an enterprise asset management solution. Select third-party apps are also available and approved for use on the Flir iXX thermal camera. These programs provide a variety of solutions, some of which are targeted to a specific application or task, and can also help operators integrate data from complementary inspection technologies. Whether you are using Ignite or Asset Link, thermographers should first register and establish a user account with the Flir support website to get started. This support profile works universally for all Flir products and services. To set up your account, open a web browser and go to support.flir.com. Click on the profile icon at the top of the screen and enter your email address into the field. This will be your username. Then select Continue, where you'll then be prompted to enter and create a password. These credentials are what operators also use to access either Ignite or Asset Link on the iXX series thermal camera. Select the app and log in with your username and password. For anyone interested in using Asset Link, a free 18-month trial is available for thermographers. Go to flir.com/products/assetlink to learn more and get started today. Finally, the Infrared Training Center also offers free tutorials that provide an in-depth look at both Ignite and Asset Link. Go to infraredtraining.com to view these videos and more. We hope you've enjoyed this overview of the Flir iXX thermal camera. If you have any questions or need additional help with the camera or software, the following pages are available for thermographers on the Flir support website. Here you'll find a summary of key features, additional technical information, user guides, video tutorials, frequently asked questions, and much more. However, learning how to use the camera and software is just your first step. It's only with certification training that you'll get the most out of your investment in this technology. And that's where the Infrared Training Center can help. Increase your credibility, enhance your career, and build your business. These are just some of what you'll accomplish with certification courses from the Infrared Training Center. Whether you're joining us in the classroom, on-site, or online, our course schedule is packed with upcoming training dates at a number of convenient locations worldwide. Learn from industry veterans and thermal imaging experts who will help guide you through an interactive and practical educational experience with training that meets or exceeds industry standards.
I would 100% recommend this program to friends or colleagues. A little bit of knowledge with this technology can really go a long way and alleviate these problems that affect us all.
Don't wait. Join us for certification training with your Flir iXX series thermal camera. To register, give us a call or go to infraredtraining.com to learn more and start your journey towards certification with the Infrared Training Center.